Hello guys, so after a long stay, this is what I decided to resume with. Hello, welcome to today's tutorials. In today's tutorials, we'll be making the beautiful dress you can see there on the screen, and we are going to be using this fabric. It's like Mikado and it's also like Too Faced raw silk. It's kind of hard and is a 1.5 yardage of fabric. We are going to be using it for that dress. Let's see how it goes. And it will be, the dress is for a 7-year-old, and we'll be needing the ruler. All these tools will be used to construct this beautiful dress and our machine as well. So now we'll get down to the pattern drafting. It's just a simple bodice we are going to be making with a circle down, and the down part of the dress will be cut in a circular form, and then we'll cut a long strip and make a little gathers around it, and we will also be using our nets. Okay, as we move along, I'll bring the nets to you so that you see what it, our veil net, of course, to give it that fullness you can see at the down part of the dress. So let's get started. So the measurements that will be required for this tutorials will be the child's shoulder, the body's front, the body's back is just a slight difference, the waist, the chest, the length of the dress. And so let's get started on this. So here we go. If you follow this, you know that usually I like making a line here to help me take other measurements. So we'll mark out our shoulder measurement is 12. We divide it by 2. We are going to be having 6. Okay. The body's front is 12.5. So mark out 12.5 plus half an inch for joining. We'll have 13. So for the armsole depth, we will be taking, before we take our armsole depth at this shoulder line, we'll mark out 2 inches, come down here by 0.5, and then we join those 2 points. So this is our shoulder line. Okay, and then our armsole depth, we divided our chest measurement by 6. We added plus 1.5 to give us our armsole depth. Our chest measurement is 26. When we divide this, we will have 5.8, but I'm going to use 5.5. You can use 5.8, especially because you're putting sleeves. Okay, let me use 5.8, but if you are to use if you are not to put sleeves, you can make it smaller than, you can do just plus 1. Okay, as in 0.26 divided by 6 plus 1 inch. Okay, so but now I'm going to use 5.5 because I'm using 1.5 inch. We are doing this together. Okay, we are going to see if this 1.5 yard will be okay for us to add up a sleeve to it like the other dress we have. If not, we are going to leave it at like a sleeveless, but now I'll be using 1.5.5 so that if we cannot get a sleeve out of it, we will still have no problem doing it, having it as a sleeveless. The child's armpit will not be too revealing, but I'm sure we'll get even like a small sleeve from it. So our chest measurement is 26. We'll divide it by 4 and we'll have 6.5. okay, so I'll mark out my 6.5 here, mark it out here too. This is just a simple bodice measurement. If you have been following this channel, this is not supposed to be a big deal for you. So if you have watched up to this point and you know you haven't clicked on that notification bell or the subscription to subscribe to this channel, please do so that you can be notified whenever we have a new tutorial. Okay, so for the waist measurement, okay, you can see this here is my chest measurement. I measured it out here since it's the largest measurement on the upper bodies and brought it down. Okay, but for my busts, for me to, I wouldn't have to go all the way down for the waist measurement, so I'll come down from my armhole point by 1.5, okay, before taking out my waist measurement. The waist measurement is 22.5, and then after the division I got 5.6, so I'll mark out my 5.6 here and join these 2 points. So this is like my bust measurement, because if you take it up to this point, it may be tight on the child, her bust. It may eat up into her bust, her chest measurement. So right now we are going to take our armscye depth, sorry, not the armscye depth, we are going to do our armhole curve. We'll mark out 1 inch from this point, and then we'll do this. Okay, then we'll pick up the neck. I'm taking a 3 inch by 2.5 inch. Okay, you can take whatever you know is okay by you. And then I'm just keeping my 0.5 inch measurement for joining, and here is the 0.5 inch measurement at the shoulder, and at the armhole you do this as well, 0.5 inch. And here I'm taking 1 inch measurement for joining at the side. So this is what we have here. We are done, and this is like the same thing we'll be doing at the back. The back is just that we are going to be putting a a 1-inch zipper allowance. Make sure you cut in between, because the lines are so inside Bible it's so thick, so you can just decide to cut inside the line so that you not add up or reduce the measurement. So this is our center front, okay? So I'll just quickly do the back pattern so that for those who do not really know how to go about it, I'll just measure out from this. You look for where you have a very straight line, mark out the measurement you'll be needing, like the zipper allowance you will need. This is like 1 inch here. Then I'll just join the points. Okay, so just as I did, I'll mark out a straight line here to enable me to pick up other measurements. Here, I'll mark out the 6 inches, which is my shoulder measurement. Then the 2 inches here, I'll take up 0.5 inch and then join these 2 points. I'll mark out the 12.5, that's 13 inches. So there's something I'll do here. This is okay. I told you the back bodice of this child is slightly, you can do it the same, that they are not busty, and so it doesn't really matter. But in some kids, that bulge shows, it comes up. So I just took my time to measure the back, and I had 11 at the back. And you know, at the front we had 12.5. okay, so we'll reduce a bit from what we have. Okay, so since the front bodice is 12.5 and the back bodice is 11.5, the difference is 1. So what I'll do here in my front pattern is to just come to this side, and mark out, take out 1 inch so that they can be equal when I'm joining, and I'll curve it and blend it to my center front. Okay, so I'll just take my time and trim this off. So this is what it looks like. So here, the body's back is 11.5 plus half an inch for joining. We'll be having 12 here. Okay, 12, and then we join the 2 points together. Okay, now we'll take our arm side depth, and we took it as it was same way, same value at the front is what we take at the back. That's 5.5. Here I'm making sure it's 6. And join this point. And then the chest we had 6.5, and so we'll mark it out 6.5 here, 6.5 here. Okay, then we'll join the points. So this is, we'll mark out our armhole. The armhole at the front, at the back is not going out the way it is at the back. Okay, we just moved out here a bit, 0.5 or 0.3, and then curve it this way. So for the waistline, we have our waist is 5.6, so we'll mark out our 5.6 here, 5.6, mark it out, and do what you did at the front. We came down by 0.5 and then join these 2 points. You go ahead and keep your allowance the way you know it's okay by you, but I am keeping 1 inch allowance at the side. Okay, over here at the back, okay, over here at the back we will still have our 3 inches. By here will come down by 7 inch. Okay, the back is deep, so this is what we have at the back. It's like a V. It's a V, and so here, see what I did. I took it to this line, then at this zipper point you will do this, okay, so that when you're joining your zip it will be easy for you. So this is my 1 inch. Now cut it out after keeping our allowance at the back. So this is what we have here at the shoulder, 0.5, your armhole 0.5, and then we are ready to cut. So the back is ready. This is our back. This is the back, and this is the front. Okay, so now we are ready to cut out on our fabric, but before we cut this out, we'll be cutting out the circle, because it's always nice to cut out the bigger part of it so that you can place this on the little pieces you have left. So as I earlier said, I'm going to place this on fold. I'll place this on fold, like cutting a circle, a 360-degree circle. Yeah, I placed it on fold. You can see I placed this on fold, and my waist circumference, the waist circumference is 22. I divided 22.5. I divided it by 6.28, and I got 3.5. Okay, the 6.28 is the formula derived from the radius of a circle. Okay, I guess if you don't get it, the calculation, you can let me know in the comment section. If not, just go ahead and use it. It's just a standard, is a constant they use to get the radius of a circle. So as I was saying, the waist is 22.5. I divided it by 6.28, and then after dividing it, I had 3 points. I got 3.5, but because I want a little gathers on the waist, I made it up to 5. Okay, I made it up to 5.5, the circumference I'm going to be cutting. But then we can go ahead and do our cutting and all. But the length of this dress is 29. I divided it by sorry, I took out the body's front from it, which is 12.5. After taking it out, I got like 16.5. And then from the picture on the screen, the dress we're making, there's a little gathers on it at the hem of it, at the hem of the dress. But that's to say we are going to reduce the circle we are going to be making. So we are going to be reducing, we are going to be cutting out 11. Okay, and then adding up we are going to be adding up like 5.5 at the hem to make it up to 16.5. I hope you get. Just know that, okay, whatever you get at the lower part of your dress, okay, you can deduct whatever amount you wish to if you're adding up gathers at the hem. If not, you can go ahead and make it whatever value you've gotten after dividing, after minusing, subtracting the full length of the dress from your body's front, that is from the upper part of your bodies. Okay, so let's go ahead. I hope you get what I have said. So here, this is up to 18, and I'm to cut out 16.5 as the total. So I want to make sure I am able to maximize the fabric I have as much as possible as I can, because this is, I told you now, it's a 1.5 yard fabric. Okay, so before I do this, let me pin it up because the fabric is not laying. So as I was saying, I try to pin the fabric up before doing the cutting so that you don't have to move. From here, I hope you can see, I'll cut out, I would measure out my 5 inches all around here, and I'll come here and make sure I have up to 11.5. So you can see I have up to 11.5. I'll make it 12 inches because, sorry, 12.5 inches because of the joining we'll be having at the waistline and at the hem. Okay, this is 5.5. You put it at this edge here. So guys, if you know you haven't liked this video or subscribed to this channel, please do so. Please help me give this video a thumbs up, like it, and watch to the end, because we'll be doing the sewing of this, putting together of this beautiful dress. Okay. So from here now, I'm not coming here to measure out 12.5. We hope you realize, because the 12.5 is from here, okay? But when you put it from here and you're marking all of them together, is 17.5. Don't make that mistake, so that you won't go and get a very short and different thing from what you planned out to. If you get confused, just mark out this one and then come here and measure out the 12.5 you need, okay? But to make it faster and easier, just calculate it all up and do this. Dress, and now we'll cut out we have a problem already. I didn't look at this, so I have to cut it back. Again, this is not good at all. So I'll cut all this on the back. Something so we are done with the front, and now I'm going to cut the sleeves. So all this will be joined to make our strap bib. So now I'm going to be cutting this particular sleeve. So we still have a sleeve, and I'm going to use this to join. We'll cut this out. We'll put it on full cut out, cut the two out of here, and attach from here. So together gathers, and we'll cut the joint. So okay, let's go ahead and cut our sleeve. So guys, it's a puff sleeve. Since it's a puff sleeve, it's a free hand I'm doing, okay? I'll just bring it down here. I'll bend the hem, then I use elastic around there, okay? So this is all. Can't even find my ruler. Just cut out this straight line. So guys, if you know you haven't subscribed once again to this channel, please do so. And thanks to everyone who has been able to subscribe. You guys are amazing. I am so grateful that you were able to subscribe to the channel. Thanks, and please help me tell those that are interested in videos that we make on this channel to visit this channel, so that I can hit the 1K subscriber. We are going there. Just help me tell it to others, and like and watch to the end. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate. So here is the net, the veil net we'll be using. I've already cut them. I lay them down just like I usually do on my other videos. I lay them down and cut them like you have to make a ball dress into the parts different length I want them to be. They are all the same length, okay? They are shorter than what I have in my fabric, like 1 inch shorter, okay, or 2 inch shorter. I can make it that way. And I have like, I cut like 4 of it, okay? I cut 4 of it. Here is the last one. So we have like 4 of it. Depending on how bulky you want it, you can make it more. So this is it, and it's a 5 yards. The yardage of the net is 5 yards, and so those are all we'll be working with this. And then I'll be putting a net at the back, like you could see on the screen on the other one, the color of this tool just there to tie at the back, just to give it a little, to make it a little, add a little beauty to it. And so we'll be going to, I'll be cutting the lining the same way I cut the down part, but I'll not be cutting the lining in a circle. You can do that if you please to do that, but I'll just cut a straight 1.5 inch and 1.5 yardage of lining and do the gathers and then put it together. All right, so thank you for watching up to this time, and please do well to please subscribe. Thank you. Subscribe. I know you will subscribe and watch the sewing of this video, and then try it out for your baby girl. You will like it, okay? Or for the customers, they will like it. So follow up the sewing. This thing will be neatly finished, okay? The sewing of it too is very important. The putting together of this is very important. It will make you watch and see how it is easily done and comes out well, okay? Thanks for watching, and let's go to the sewing machine. Do it differently. We'll sew it differently. I'll sew the back to the front. We'll sew the lining the same way we are going to sew the fabric. Okay, this and this together. Join the shoulder. So I'll do same with the lining, but I'll have to iron the seam. you buy a fabric, so simple dress. That one is not a problem now. If you come early, normally you say you come earlier than you sew your thing. If I don't see that serious, I look for that man number also when you come and fix it. So that was not excuse. So this is my second. I'm going to cut it open. Give me those. Open it up. So this is what we have. And this is the upper part of our dress. So I'll do it this way. Now, this is the front. I'll do little gathers on it. So this is here. I'll pin the notches together. I'll pin here. So I'll come here. Remember our zipper allowance is 1 inch. So from here, if I'll start gathering, I'll mark out the 1 inch. And here we have an inch. Because there I'll need the zipper to be on the same line, you know, when we're fixing it. This is what you do. So that I can distribute. Just to do a little gathers. A little gathers here and there. So you need to open. So you're hiding. So you need to this. It's good you're hiding before you sew. Wait, you need to hide. Make sure you open. Okay. Make sure you open. So I'm going to try and gather this one. Okay. You can use. Then you just gather it. Gather it. Gather it as you sew. And that's this one. And you need to fabric enough. Apron. I'm making sure this 0.5 so that I can keep it aligned inside. So guys, this is what we have. This is what it looks like now. We now have to fix up. Yeah, came out fine. Beautiful. I'll now have to fix up my nets. You can see the way it looks. It's just falling. So but now after fixing the nets, you'll see the difference. So in this process, you're going to be patient. You take it one step to be laying the time. Okay, one after the other. Remember, there are 4 layers, so I'm going to lay them on the fabric one after the other carefully, using my pins to keep them in place and taking my time to sew them. You have to do this patiently. It takes time, especially as the dress is for a bigger child. You know, the bigger, the more taxing the whole thing is. So you just take your time, pin it up, and then lay it one after the other and sew. You can sew them, each of them, as in, as you lay one you sew, you lay one, but to take time. But I think if you are beginning, if this is like the first one you're doing, you try to do it one after the other so that it will not be too much on you. Okay, so anyone that you feel will be okay by you, you can use that format. So I'll lay all of them and then sew them together. You can see me arranging the gathers. Okay, the gathered part is not at the zipper area. You just take away, don't gather your 1 inch or whatever allowance you kept at the zipper part. Try not to gather that side, since the zipper will be on that side. You don't need to gather that point. Move away 1 inch or 1.5, whatever allowance you have kept for your zipper, before gathering it, and make sure the gathers are evenly distributed. Okay, so that one part of the dress will not be looking bulky than the other parts. It has to be evenly distributed. So I'm going to do this one after the other, and so as I've said, but I will try to make it quick since it's going to take a lot of time. So if you have to watch all through. Okay, so here I've managed to lay all 4 of them, and I've tried to gather them evenly as much as I can. Now I'm trying to sew them together, and while sewing, always remember to sew all 4 of them. Don't let anyone behind. Make sure all 4 of them are there. Always sew, count, make sure everything is together. Okay, before sewing. Remember that there are 4 of the veil nets. Don't leave anyone behind, because if you do, you have to loosen up and start all over again, and you can imagine how bad you will feel. Okay, so now I'm done putting the net together together with the fabric. What I'll do next, you can see how full it's turned out to be. What we'll do next is to fix the gathers at the hem of the dress. So now we are going to, the same way I joined the the down part of the main fabric, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be sewing on half inch. Here is as in the lower part of the dress together with the upper part. I've already used needle and thread to make the gathers. I'll just distribute it evenly as usual, and that'll be all. Would attach it to the dress. Okay, So here it is. We're done putting the lining together.
So guys, this net will be attached to the fabric back of the dress, as I said earlier, before we use the lining to turn the dress. So I'll be sewing it to the dress at the back, just to add up a little beauty to the dress, because I wouldn't be putting any bow at the back. I don't just want to leave it bare at the back. So I'm going to be doing this. You can take whatever you feel like, whatever length and whatever width you feel will be okay by you. Here mine, I took 11 as the width, and I took the length was about 22 or less, but it depends on how you want the bow to be at the back. Okay, so this is how I'm going to attach it. I'm going to measure from the shoulder 2.5 inch low away from the shoulder of the dress. Then I will sew the net, the toe below, as in below the shoulder, yes, away from the shoulder. Okay. So I'll do same on the other side, and then we'll do the joining of the lining, turning, using the lining to turn. So guys, here is the lining, there is the shoulder line. On the fabric and on the lining, I'll pin those points. I'll pin the shoulder, both shoulder with pins, both shoulders with pins, and then I'll sew around the neckline at 0.5 inch down to where the zipper will be fixed. I wouldn't sew to the end, because I would like to use the lining to turn the zip. Okay, I guess as we move on, you understand what I mean. If you do not understand what I mean by turning it, like I'll use the lining to cover the rough edges of the zip. Okay, so guys, just a reminder, if you have watched up to this point, I guess you are finding this video interesting. Just subscribe. If you have not subscribed to this channel yet, please do subscribe and hit on the notification bell, and make sure you please like this video, okay, and share as well. So here, of course, I'm trying to pin up all the necessary points so that my lining will not keep moving here and there, and before sewing. Okay guys, before I forget, before sewing, especially at the zipper area, make sure your stitches is the same at the either side, as in both side of it. So at that point, make sure you take your appropriate allowance, the allowance you have kept, so that when you're sewing the zip, you will not have one side higher than the other. It's always frustrating. So take your time, measure out that part. You can sew the rest of the neckline without measuring it, without chalking it down, making sure you've taken the appropriate measurement. But at this zipper area, make sure it is the same measurement you're taking on either side, okay, so that you will not have problems. So guys, the next thing to do here is to just stitch on the neckline. What you just did, just top stitch on it so that it can lay flat. So I was use sleeve. I'll point if it was basically. Guys, after doing our top stitch, what we'll do next is to attach the gathers at the lower part of the dress, that is at the hem. The strap I was talking about that we cut while cutting out the dress, the pieces I said I was going to join, I joined it to make up this, okay, and now I had to draw gathers on it to see if we can have something down there to make it look lovely as well. Though the gathers, I didn't get so much out of it. Remember, this fabric is just 1.5 yard. So guys, if you're to make this dress, make sure you use like 2 yards. I think 2 yards will be okay, really okay for the child. So you can see I'm done joining it. The gathers is not so full, but it's okay, at least I got something out of it. So right now the dress is almost ready. It's remaining, we are going to fix the zip and the sleeve, that's what's left, and do the necessary bending and all. So guys, before fixing the zip, remember the dress has a trimming at the waistline. So here's the trimming. I'm trying to sew the trimming onto the dress. So this is what I'm to do before you're to do if you're to fix the trimming at the waistline. If you're not tacking it, you can, or gumming it, using gum on it. I don't really like using gum on it because if it falls off or it wouldn't look as neat as this, okay. If I'm not tacking it, I sew it. If it's a sewable trimming, I just do this instead of gumming it. So you make sure you go this. So now after sewing here, I'm going to sew the upper part to keep it in. So neckline, I'll iron the neckline and then I'll prepare the sleeves, then we'll put it together. Okay, so here is my sleeve. Remember the sleeve we cut? I'm going to draw gathers on it, but first of what I'm going to do is to bend the hem. Okay, I'll bend the hem of the sleeve. I'll use this elastic band, okay, to hold it. This way. So now I've finished bending it. I'm going to measure out an elastic of 11 inches, 11 inch and a half. Okay, and I'll measure up here. I'll come upward by 2 inches here, by 2 inches. This is what it looks like now, and then I'll make it gather some. So you see, I'll hold one of the rows. Okay. So guys, this is me trying to fix the zipper. Before then, I'll try to put everything together, like at the top of the dress, at the back, the center back. I'll pin those 2 points together, then go to the waistline. Very important, you make sure they meet. So even when you are fixing your trimming, be careful so that they will meet when you put your zipper. Okay, it also brings out the neatness of your work, making sure every seam, every joining meets and all. Okay, so here, aside that, you're going to make sure you arrange your net properly, making sure you are holding the 4 of them are together. You know, we have like trying to join the 2 sides together, 4 on this side, 4 on that side with the fabric. And here I'm going to join only, I'm trying to hold on to the net and the fabric, and I will sew. Okay, I'm not going to sew from the beginning. I'll just reinforce in a particular point after measuring from the waistline. I'm just trying to explain everything because I'm going to make the video is getting long, so I'm going to make it fast. Okay, so here I'm trying to explain to you. So you put it together, reinforce at that point, making sure all the fabrics are together, the net, the main fabrics are together, and then you sew on that point, reinforce and cut off your thread, and then you hold the fabric differently from the net. But before you reinforce at that point, make sure that you move away from your waistline, as in where the zip, that reinforcement, that point is where your zipper will stop. So make sure what you're measuring will be, what you're taking from the waistline will be okay for the child. It will not be tight on the hip, like enough. Like this is for a 7-year-old. I am moving away by 4 inches from the waistline before reinforcing. And where I reinforce, I have to make sure that I move in by 1 inch, as in the zipper allowance I kept. Okay, so please watch carefully if you can, or listen to what I have said over and over again. It's easy. I have a video of this, making a ball dress, how to make a ball dress and finish it up for a 1-year-old. You can go and check up that video. It's the same step I am taking now. Okay, if you're not so clear on this one because it is bulky and all, you may not be able to see well. The net is fuller, so you may not see clearly, but that one, I bet you'll see better than this. Use that video, watch that video too. It's the same thing. It will explain better for you if you don't see properly what I'm doing here now. Okay. So here now we are ready to fix the zip. I am just trying to keep the 1 inch allowance, marking it out so that I can sew. Remember at the beginning of the zipper, where you fix the zipper allowance, you make sure you are holding your 1 inch allowance so that when you finish fixing the zip, it will meet. So this is it. This way I'll pin it the way I did here, making sure it's at 1 inch. Okay, this side is really important, so I think you should see what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is it. I'll pin it up like this, make sure everything is okay. Okay, pin it up. Then here, of course, it should be 1 inch, or whatever allowance you must have kept. So we'll make sure this okay, and make it sure. That's why you're putting your punch or your training at the inside. Be careful. All of that. Make sure that you are together. That's why just hold that part and check. That part in that part, check if it is meeting each other. If it's at the same point. If it's not at the same point, that's remove it and try to fix it up to be at the same point. Okay. So check it down. We'll check it out and make sure it's at the same point. You can see they are the same point. Actually, things are innocent. Things are so nothing. It's easy for me. So guys, here I want to use the lining to cover the rough edges on the zipper allowance. But what I'll do first is to measure out my 4 inches that I did on the fabric before sewing the zipper, and I will sew that point, like reinforce just the way I did on the zipper allowance, and then I will sew. You make sure it's, I'm trying to make sure it's at the same point. I will sew down just like we did when we sewed the net and the veil net and the fabric together before separating it. But this one, since it's just lining, you're just going to sew, reinforce at that point and sew down. Okay. That is the right side of your dress, and the right side of your lining will be facing each other. And so you sew at 0.5 inch. So here, mark out your 0.5 to avoid any problems. So here, come this way. To see what I'm doing. We are shooting this head. Oh, it's refusing to stay. I hope you can see. It's not something too difficult. Just to set your 0.5, then kept across. Okay. And then you cut. Cut the X. So this is what it will look like. Okay. So I also turned the other side of the zip with the lining the same way I did the other side, and here is what it looks like now. I've zipped it up. Whenever you do that, you have to check and know that your zipper can move up and down freely, and that's the tool at the neckline at the back, just to tie it around and make it a little, to add a little beauty to it as well. So this is how far we have gone. We're going to fix the sleeve and bend the necessary places we're supposed to bend, like the hem, and then we'll be done with the dress in no time. So here I'm trying to bend the sleeve, the hem of the dress just a little, because I didn't have so much to add at the hem, so that it wouldn't be too short on her. So I'm bending just a little of it. Remember, our fabric is just 1.5 yards. I'm so happy this thing could go this way for me. I didn't know I could use this, but it went well. So, but if you want to do this, so do it with a 2 yards of fabric for that child of that age. Okay, I just said this was what I had, and I was to make something urgent for my kids, so I decided to just try it out. It's not a customer's outfit. If not, having those joining around the hem, she may not like it that way. I mean the strap that we did gathers on to join, I had to add up. Okay guys, if you have watched up to this point, please do well to subscribe and like the video, give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching up to here. Let's go ahead with the video. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and fix the sleeve. It's a gathered sleeve. I had prepared it earlier, and now I gathered where we'll go around the upper part that will go around the armhole. So I'm just trying to distribute the gathers around, and I'll pin it up and sew. So I'm going to, the same way I did this sleeve, that's what I'll do to the other part of the sleeve, and that's all. Our dress is ready. I'll show you the outcome. So here is the outcome of our dress. This is what it looks like. I had wanted the gathers down to be a bit fuller, but because of what we had, it's not so full, but it still came out well. So, and now I'm going to tag this to this point. I'm going to tag it here, this beautiful ribbon. I'll tag it there, and then we're done. Please remember to subscribe, like this video, and of course share. Bye.